All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a tiny little moment that you probably deal with online almost every single day. A moment that feels like, just a small inconvenience, but is actually the front door to a massive invisible war happening right behind your screen. You know this one, right? The little checkbox, the squiggly text, picking out all the traffic lights in a blurry picture. How many times have you seen this? But have you ever really stopped to think about what's really going on behind that simple request and why it even needs to ask in the first place? Because here's the thing, it's not just some random security thing. This prompt, in all its forms, connects billions of us in this weird shared digital experience. It's the key that lets us into websites, and more importantly, it's a gate that's designed to keep something else out. Seriously, just think about it for a second. Whether you're signing up for a newsletter, buying movie tickets, or just logging into an account, this phrase is one of the most consistent things in our online lives. It's just always there. But why? Well, the answer is pretty simple. We need a doorman. We need a guard at the digital gate. Why? Because the internet is home to a constant, invisible war that's being fought every single second of every single day. And this simple little test is our first line of defense. And this slide really breaks down the two sides of that war. On one side, you've got us, right? Humans. We're on the internet to browse, to connect with people, to learn things, maybe buy something. Our intentions are usually pretty straightforward. But on the other side, you've got bots, automated programs that have very, very different and often malicious goals. And make no mistake, these bots aren't harmless. They are literally designed to cause chaos. We're talking about bots that create millions of fake social media accounts to spread spam and misinformation, that flood a website with so much traffic it just crashes, and bots that are constantly crawling the web trying to scrape your personal information. So yeah, we really need a way to stop them. So that brings us to the really clever, kind of simple logic behind the test itself. How do you build a gate that a human can walk right through without even thinking about it, but a machine finds almost impossible to get past? Well, you design a challenge that plays to our unique strengths as humans. And this is the core idea. The fancy technical name for these tests is CAPTCHA. Yeah, I know, it's a mouthful, but it stands for Completely Automated Public Turing Test to Tell Computers and Humans Apart. The whole point is to create these little puzzles based on context and pattern recognition that historically only we've been good at solving. They are that digital gatekeeper. So let's break down how it works. It's actually super simple. A website throws a unique challenge at you, like reading a distorted word or finding all the bicycles in a picture. Our brains, with a lifetime of experience, see the pattern almost instantly. But a computer, traditionally, just sees a jumble of pixels. It struggles with that ambiguity and context. We pass, it fails. The gate opens for us. But here's where the story gets really, really interesting. This was never a one-and-done solution. It's a relentless, escalating technological arms race. For every clever test humans create, the bots, powered by AI, get smarter, and the tests have to evolve just to stay one step ahead. And you've seen this evolution happen right before your eyes. It started in the early 2000s with that classic wavy text, but then bots learned how to read it. So the test shifted to identifying objects in photos, street signs, storefronts, buses. And here's a wild side note. Every time we clicked on one of those, we were actually helping to train the very AI models that are so powerful today. Kind of crazy, right? After that came the simple "I'm not a robot" checkbox, which was secretly analyzing your mouse movements. And today, a lot of these tests are totally invisible, just analyzing your behavior in the background. So you see the cycle, right? First, on one side, some of the brightest minds in cybersecurity cook up a brand new, clever test, something they think only a human can possibly pass. The new defense is set, but almost immediately, the other side gets to work. Bots, powered by incredibly sophisticated AI, start studying the test, learning its weaknesses, and eventually, they figure out a way to break right through it. And just like that, the defense is breached. So the designers have to go all the way back to the drawing board. And now they're forced to ask a much deeper, almost philosophical question. What is it really that makes us uniquely human? And how in the world can we turn that into the next test? This relentless back and forth leads us to a really fascinating and maybe a little unsettling future. The line between what a human can do and what a machine can do is getting blurrier every day. So, what happens when the bots finally and consistently win this arms race? Just imagine a world where the best AI can pass a human verification test with 99.8% accuracy, where it can read any distorted text, identify any image, and even mimic the subtle, slightly clumsy movements of a human hand on a mouse. Maybe even better than some people. What do we do then? And that leaves us with this final, massive question. If a machine can perfectly imitate our digital behavior, if it can pass every test we designed to prove our own humanity, then what does it actually mean to be human online? That simple little checkbox suddenly starts asking a very, very big question, doesn't it?